intimidating. As we get underway on Friday Night Football, the umpires tonight, Donlan, Margetts and Rosebery. Opening bounce. Hangs a long time in the air. Umpire got some height on that. It's hooked down by Cox. Nat Nui's over the football. And that ball's not coming out.
Thanks, Brad.
Virtually a sellout crowd. It was said to be sold out. Just looking around, I think it is. Anything over 42,000 gives us a sellout at Patterson Stadium. No one touched the footy that time. Otten's only as far as Nat Nui. Lays it off. Rose has got it. Forward of the wing. Goes down inside the forward 50. Storming up the ground was Darling. Missed the mark. Pritis tries to lay it off. Ebert's in trouble. Ball just falls to the ground there. Bartel trying to back out. Going nowhere. And a ball out.
It's an interesting decision to start Scarlett onto Kennedy there. Probably making sure he doesn't get tagged, but giving him the job on the opposition's main target forward.
And just on screen before was Andrew Embley, who's sitting a kick behind the plate for the West Coast Eagles.
Bartel, third man up. We see him do that a lot, don't we? Corey's quick kick away. One of a couple of Cats players who came here early. Varco, I think, last week, and Corey on the weekend. Start important here. The Eagles have been fast starters this year. They've won a lot of opening terms. Now at the back end, both these teams have got impressive final quarters as well. So Stokes, little give. Bartel couldn't quite take it. And then Selwood squeezing forward. And the ball running out.
Actually a really important kick that, just to gain meterage for West Coast, because their press has been much forwarded this year. Just gaining meterage early, and then the ability to set up and lock the ball in is going to be really important to start the game.
So boundary throw in. Ottens. Cox. I've seen a bit of that. Neither ruckman touching the footy, and sometimes it works to your advantage, sometimes it doesn't. Cox gets the free kick this time, goes down towards the boundary in that forward pocket. Knocked wider still by Lonigan, taken by Ebert, and he just missed. Gee, that was a good effort.
And with Scarlett taking Kennedy, it means Harry Taylor, who you think would take Kennedy, is actually on Ebert, so he's got a medium sizer to contend with.
They're playing both Ebert and Pritis forward, West Coast at the moment. So a couple of defensive type potential players.
A lot of tactical positioning, I think, early in the game to try and stop Scarlett being tagged. Hearn's up on the wing, so Embley's the spare back.
I wonder now we see Ling and Pritis together, which we expected, didn't we?
Yeah.
So Pritis going forward didn't bring Ling back, but now they find one another on centre wing as Ling's kicked to about 35 metres. Glass there. Well done by Varco, who gets some space and goes with a long one and kicks the opening goal. Almost out of nothing there.
Well, it wasn't that speed and class. Just Varco, when he gets the ball with a half a metre of space, his acceleration, just to get himself out from under the pressure. And then a fantastic finish. That is a really skillful goal.
Picked up some really good form down at Skills Stadium against Adelaide a couple of weeks ago. He's been in Perth now for an extended period of time with both Joel Corey and Joel Selwood. Looks exceptionally fresh. Just in the West Coast Eagles back line at the moment. Darren Glass was lining up on Matthew Stokes at that stage now. I think he's rolled over to Steve Johnson. So not playing on Podsy Adley, which I think a lot of people would have thought. But outstanding start to the game for Travis Varco.
Amazing what a couple of weeks in the West can do. Varco missed last week. Wonderful snap. Again, these rucks hesitate as they came at the footy. Both were flat-footed as Cox managed to knock it forward. That's Swift. It was claimed. And certainly the umpires bouncing it very high, indicating the centre circle at least is very high. Umpire Donlan. Goes again, and they wait and they wait. Knocked down by Cox wide, taken by Hearn. Slips a hand pass away. Swift a little too cute there. Pritis had it bounce off his body, and there's a high tackle and a free kick. I think it may be Stokes in that pack.
Put him up now.
No, it's Christensen. So Christensen gets the free backward of the wing to the east from Adelman. Harry Taylor long down towards the attacking 50. Podsy Adley got hands to it. Well played, coming through and knocking it across the line down there was Schofield.
I find it really interesting. I know it's mentioned a couple of times. Harry Taylor would normally always play on Kennedy.
Yes.
But Taylor's virtually the spare defender now, although he's just swapped over.
Ebert started on Taylor with, as Lee said, Scarlett had the job on Kennedy for the first 5 or 6 minutes. Enright bangs the ball back in, And they've got a Lucy back there. Smith takes the mark. It's been pretty impressive, Smith. He kicked a couple of goals against the Blues the last time West Coast played. Then that careful kick coming out of the back half by Glass. Schofield has re-signed. He's been impressive, Schofield. Took a little while to find his feet in the AFL. Now Glass, a long ball. The Cats have got the numbers. Menzel, who started down back, a goal kicker this season, and a boundary throw-in.
That passage of play worked into Geelong's hands. It was a slow play going from back pocket to back pocket, enabling the Geelong whole team to form a defensive zone structure.
Vardy and Cox reaching over the top. Vardy, Bartel into a tackle. Vardy had the ball, then lost it. Well done by Cox. Simply dug it out. Taken by Nikoski. Goes with the outside of the boot. Wanders down to half forward. Coming up to meet it, Lonigan. Wojcinski likes to run, not this time. Kelly, time enough to kick it. Inside the forward 50, Podsiadly came, gave a contest, it spills in front. Christensen ran into a dead end, trying to get through as Hearn, only as far as Ling, turns around, pops it back towards full forward.
Ring, James Podsiadly.
Podsiadly's getting it free.
You're locking onto his arm. No, you're holding his arm, it's a free kick.
It's unfortunate, Schofield. He could see that Cox was going to mark the ball pretty much uncontested. He just had tried a bit too hard to keep Podsley out of it. Grab his arm, umpire saw it, free kick.
Well, as Kenny Rogers said, you've got to know when to hold him, and that wasn't the time to do it. Podsiadly struggled last week. Should kick this. If it gets off on the right foot, that will be a good start for he and the Cats, and he slotted it.
What has been impressive about Podsiadly, I think, in this early part of the game is he actually forced himself to the contest a couple of times. I mean, he really drew that free kick, I think, partly because he was really going to try and get to the fall of the ball, and Schofield just had to just impede him illegally. But that was partly caused by Podsiadly forcing himself to the footy.
We just see the free kick here that Schofield's given away to Podsiadly, but the important and impressive part from a West Coast point of view was Dean Cox was able to get back. Started with Embley as a loose man behind, so clearly a tactical ploy from John Worsfold.
The back page of the Western Australian said today the Cats will want a fast start, and that was the highest bounce I've ever seen, I think.
There's a trampoline in there.
Got the free. Dan, it's your free. Your free.
But it is off-putting the big guys. Suddenly, this is most unnatural. Not used to this.
So Daniel Kerr. What a great season he's had so far. Turning back the clock. Big fly. Darling was higher than everybody. Chapman to Bartel. Doesn't get it out all that far. And then Podsiadly, who was goalless for the first time last week, getting an early one. Embley getting it from Rosa. Lacroix dangerous here in the front spot. Can they rush it over? Well, Taylor doesn't need to here, and that's a terrific kick. I mean, he was jammed up on the wrong side really for him, and he found Duncan, and then Duncan down the line. Kelly, clever, looks for Varco. It was just out of play.
Just keeps bouncing out of the Geelong defence at the moment. The Eagles have gone in there 4 times, but it's just immediately been repelled.
Just eyes on the player there, Mitch Duncan.
Yep. Perfect bump. Didn't take him high. Here's Kerr, dragged down by Chapman. The abrasive one. It comes across towards Selwood. That's Adam inside the forward 50. Sliding and taking the mark is Hunt. That's Josh. So Hunt deep in his own defensive area. A beautiful night in Perth, albeit a cold night. Taylor Hunt dropped the mark. Ball just falls at his feet. Lacroix, quick thinking, moved it about 15 metres. Claiming the mark is Taylor, nothing doing. Plays on towards the wing. Awkward half volley. Podsiadly knocked it in front. Nikoski held too long. Advantage paid. Apparently not.
Seeing a great battle at the moment. West Coast Eagles getting their repeat inside 50s.
Hurt Pods. So in that tackle, he's taken a long time to pick himself up. G. Taylor in the front was strong there. And then getting away from Lonigan. Scarlett, he knew someone was coming, and he's kicked the ball very well, actually. It was, Dennis, it was.
Centimetre perfect, Bruce.
That's it.
Be out of bounds.
That wasn't so good, Bruce.
That was.
As soon as you go off the line of the mark when you're out of bounds, well, it automatically becomes out of bounds.
So Menzel's learned something from the legend tonight. So inside that forward 50.
Block, go Corey.
At the moment, Geelong are just happy to kick it out of defence. They're actually getting the ball. They're winning all the contests in the Eagles forward 50. But at the moment, they've been certainly under pressure, been happy just to hack it out long and wide.
Selwood did a good job on Judd a couple of weeks ago. Corey's free kick.
To the wing, Nat Nui, uncontested.
Lee's point is spot on. Geelong obviously winning the ball in their defensive 50, but West Coast continually winning it back. So game's played in their front half.
Adam Selwood down towards left half forward, told to play on, kicks inside that forward 50 then. They've been winning in this situation, Geelong, so far. Darling knocks at Goldwood. Taylor does well. Vardy is going okay. The kick not so flash. Quittis running off to his right boot. Now he's got a problem. Well done, Joel Corey across the boot. It spills to Kerr, gives it to Wembley. The two veterans combine. Long kick down towards full forward. Taylor doing brilliantly down there. Stops them again. Gives it across to Wattens. Not intended for him. Backing up down there in right. Kicks it towards the outer side. Podsy Adley at work that time. The deft deflection across to Varco.
But Varco has to take a back step. Now Bartel, searing kick but not good, cut off by Hearn. And Hearn to Glass and then back to Hearn. Now can the Cats press up, because they are finding it very difficult to get the ball forward. Kerr's kick was a careful one. Embley asked to play on to Selwood. So 3 of their premiership players, only 5 of them playing tonight from that 06 premiership team, all combining here. And Embley out wide takes the mark again. What a fine season he's having. Had a good one last year as well. So Embley at half back. Kicks the ball hard to Kennedy. Worked underneath. Ottens didn't get away very hard. Prittis okay. Shuey, Kerr again.
Kerr tumbles a kick inside the forward 50. Indecision. Nikoshki and Swift both stepped aside. Both gentlemen lost the football. Here's a chance for Nat Nui to make amends, though, storming into goal. And he misses. Oh, golden opportunity twice.
Just need to be a little bit cleaner when they've got the ball at the moment, West Coast. They're dominating time in their forward half, dominating time with the inside 50s, and just little things like that, just a little bit confused, a bit more composure when they've got the football.
Varco getting some space at the moment, goes across towards Ling under pressure, hassled out of it by Shuey, who's taken high, and he'll get the free kick. Luke Shuey.
Been a good goal kicker this year, kicked 13-13. This is important for their morale. They're playing well, they're getting plenty of the footy. Just got to crack the Geelong defence and get a goal on the scoreboard.
So the margin is 10 points. Safe to assume Shuey on your boot wouldn't work here, because you would have heard it before.
You'd still try it though, wouldn't you, Dan?
I would, yes, but I'm a hand. He kicks from 40, and that's a beautiful kick. That's what they needed.
Impressive finish there by Shuey. Reward for the effort the Eagles have shown in the last 10 or so minutes. They've really dominated play. If we look at a few of the statistics, in particular the inside 50s, 9-4, really needed to be a little more clean going forward. It took a genuine attack on the football by Shuey to draw the free kick off Harry Taylor, and to get that scoreboard pressure is now important, because they certainly have the run of play.
Those inside 50s give a good idea, don't they? 9 to the Eagles, only 4 to Geelong, but Geelong got a couple of goals from their time in forward half. That's a massive domination of field position. Sounds like another sport, doesn't it, when we say it like that?
Gee, they'll be relieved to get the ball back in the centre, the Cats, won't they? So the centre clearance breaks become just so important now.
I've been watching too much rugby league. They keep talking about field position.
You're talking like a Queenslander now, Lee. How long have you been up there?
Yeah, it was a good win by them, wasn't it?
So Cox and Ottens. Ottens gets over the top. Corey probably held on to, and then a good tackle. Clever by Smith. It eluded Cox, but to Embley. So Embley having an impact early. Kick to centre half forward. just slipping there at the wrong time was Shuey. Back goes Ling. Taylor's had an excellent opening term. That's a good kick to Christensen, who debuted on this ground against the Dockers earlier this year. Daisy cutter. Gets to Enright, to Bartel. They open it up, the Cats here. Now Bartel, careful kick. Johnson was clever. Turns Schofield inside out. Stevie Johnson goes bang. And he kicks the goal.
That's a wonderful piece of forward play. It's really just knowing where the ball's going. And I think Jono just knew that the ball was probably going to go over his head. Just led his... Eagles defender under the foot. He turned him. It's just really knowing. He just turned the quickest, didn't he? And just knows how to finish. He's a genius round goal.
Great work rate by Steve Johnson off the ball. He was probably just off camera just before that moment we see now. In fact, what we also saw was some terrific closing speed from Schofield. So if Schofield doesn't slip, then would have had a 50-50 contest. That's a matchup to look forward to for the rest of the game.
Just great efficiency, isn't it? 3 goals from only 5 inside 50 entries.
Sorry, mate.
You're right, Tim.
Advantage.
Taylor Hunt's got the football. Back to Tim in a moment. Duncan. Hunt out wide. Wojcinski wheels around, looks inside the forward 50. Gets Nikoski in the air, goes to Ling. Taylor Hunt. Now Chapman creates his own space, goes from 55, long down towards full forward. Hearn goes back aware of the fat bit, and as a result, spilt the mark. Across the line and behind. 3-1-1-2. Interesting. Steve Johnson, so well held last week by young Hibberd, and got away in the last few minutes. A couple of freakish goals. Hearn, a punishing kick in his own right to the outer side. Good mark taken by Schofield.
It was a good mark. As Tom said a minute ago, gee, his closing speed on Johnson was revealing. Kicks the ball down the line. Taylor at the back. Jakur sharking beautifully. And then a lovely kick forward. Bartel coming in hard. Lacroix breaks the tackle. Ebert running hard. Little toe poke forward. Shuey. Back he goes. Cox, left foot, rolling it, not quite. And the Cats again saving the day. Ling, but Hurry's gone. Naitanui got him.
Gee, that's great footy. Some real composure from Enright, and the chase from Naitanui is superb. Cameron Ling just in 2 minds at the last minute and brought down. That's terrific forward pressure, isn't it?
He hasn't got much acceleration, Cameron Ling, and Naitanui has. So it was a very bad pairing in terms of being chased down from behind.
And a telling statistic there, 5-zip inside 50 forward tackles. A genuine indicator to the coaching staff that your team's up and about.
Well, in horse racing, Big Red never got run down, but Lingy got run down there by Naitanui, and Naitanui, well, he's had a couple of tries. He is the most exotic footballer I think we've ever seen, and
he's had a couple of point-blank shots at goal. He's kicked behind, so bad misses.
He is such a presence, though, isn't he?
Such an athletic talent for a man of his size.
Chapman out of defence. Well, Potsy Adelaide claiming he was blocked coming to the football by McGinnity. Nothing doing. And Cox took an easy mark. In rare form, Dean Cox back inside the forward 50. Geelong with a lot of confidence, not trying to spoil. They're trying to mark down there. Enright on Prudis took him down. Opportunity now for Hunt. Slips it away to Chapman. Wojcinski goes back. Menzel was taken late downfield for the Cats.
James Kelly, no! James Kelly.
Apparently not. Advantage seems to be back on the back burner tonight. As Menzel, after he'd released the ball, Darling collecting him. Got to be careful with Darling. Taekwondo is his go. He's got a black belt. Got it in his last year at high school. I would imagine he's advanced since then. On the outer side, Corey close to the boundary line, just lays it off. Bartel. Oh, here's a chance. Otten's not the quickest man. Hand passes to Stokes. He's lively. Comes across the ground to Johnson. Now it's one out inside the forward 50. Johnson doing a lot of instruction, then goes to Ling. Ling pushed off the kick, and the mark is taken by Potsy Adley. I don't believe it.
Great awareness from Steve Johnson. Just that ability not to blaze the ball to a one-on-one 50-50 contest summed up the situation and brought Cameron Ling into the game.
He was in the middle of 4 Eagles players, and he still found the gap between the 4 to lay it off to Ling.
I'm going to take one guess. There's got to be Italian blood in Steve Johnson's family. Very expressive with the hands as he came through half forward. There's the goal.
Lee mentioned earlier in the call just the efficiency of Geelong going forward at the moment. So that's, looking at the stats, only 7 inside 50 for the Cats for 5 scoring shots and 4 goals. So they've really been able to convert when they've got the ball in the front half. West Coast intensity around the football's been outstanding, highlighted by the tackle, obviously, by Nat Nui in the forward 50. But really need to convert some of that great work and great effort into scoreboard pressure.
So a couple for Pods. And Johnson really constructing again.
Have a look at him in the middle of the... He's holding on to the footy until a Geelong player gets their teammate, gets there to support. That's terrific play. Sometimes you just got to hold on to it.
So the free to Cox against Ottens.
Play on!
So 2 of the outstanding big men over the last decade opposed to one another. Swift. But they've come very wide here, the Eagles, and the Cats get numbers back. And then the short kick in.
Need to be really precise with their kick. It was a good hit up before.
Selwood to Embley, to a one-on-one. Well played by that Taekwondo man, Darling. In the top 30 draft picks from last year's draft, only Darling and Heppel have played every game so far.
Been really good. And he just held his ground then. You've got to be careful when you know the ball might be coming just a little bit over the opponent in front, just not to force him under the foot. You've got to be a little bit patient and just wait for it to get there.
He's been accurate this year in his first season. 10 goals for from set shots. And again, they miss. So the Eagles have had some chances. He misses the lot.
As we've seen, field position is clear to the Eagles, but forward efficiency is so far.
Prohibited contact. West Coast free kick. Nick Nat Nui. I'll leave it there. Free kick. Prohibited contact.
Selwood and Johnson it is.
Free kick to Nick Nat Nui. Prohibited contact. Said something about there.
Rather baffled. You may see in a moment, but Nick Nat Nui gets the kick. Crowd realises that, and suddenly spontaneous applause breaks out, as you'd expect. Might be better suited from here. Runs around, pops it on the boot and kicks the goal. Misses a couple of easy ones. Degree of difficulty there much greater.
That goal isn't something of the mental release. It's a tough shot, not a conventional shot. Ran in board, kicked it away.
Oh dear.
Well, here's the infringement. Actually, Steve Johnson got a free kick when he did that last week against Hibbert.
Yeah, if it's high contact, you can understand it, but body-to-body contact like that, don't know whether that's a free kick. Don't think it is.
Soft as a. So 15 to 25. Nat Nui kicking an impressive goal in the end from that free kick. So Duncan coughed it up to Corey, and Prentice. Good tackle. It's interesting though, Lee, because Johnson sucked one in against Hibbert in a very important stage last week, and you just wonder if that had been noted, because he probably hit Hibbert as hard last week and then Hibbert came back. So he had a prior, I guess. Rosa gets a good one there, a lucky one. That's not a good kick going forward. Kennedy, no impact so far. Scarlett off one step. Cox will take it on his chest. So West Coast continuing to press here, out wide. And now Smith with a long, hard ball. Good-looking kick to Darling. Taylor at the back. And then Kelly runs the gauntlet. Scarlett back, not far. And Ebert's got it at half forward.
It's amazing how happy they are just to put it on the boot in the back 50, Geelong.
65 metres out. Ebert goes long down towards full forward. Swift almost knocked away at the last moment by Hunt. It's grabbed there by Darling, Russell or Kennedy. Kennedy's got the goal.
West Coast's ability at the moment to get those repeat inside 50s. They were unable to get the setup Scarlett was the player to fill the hole for Geelong. It's actually Shannon Hearn this time now, who's an equally dangerous player with ball in hand. But the ability for Eagles to spread from a stoppage when they go forward and then set up this press that they've become famous for this year. It was Cox who intercepted the ball. The repeat 50s are a hallmark of the game and been the hallmark of the year for the Eagles.
Well, he hasn't been able to get it in the air at the moment, Kennedy. The Geelong defence has been too good there, but a good ground level crumb and goal. Yeah, just can't work out. The Geelong defenders are just happy just to kick the ball out of the back 50. They're not holding onto the ball to try and create out of there at all.
So first disposal for Kennedy. Prittis got down low, Kerr down low as well, and then Smith, well done by Selwood. He sold a dummy to Varco, kicks the ball forward. Hunt probably should have taken the mark. Lacroix, beautifully played. Nikoski misses again.
Got away with one there, Bruce. You hit the nail on the head. You know when a side's up and about and confident, those intercept balls, you take them. Josh Hunt was able to get 2 fists to the ball and scored the ball away. A player like Lacroix, if you can get the ball out of the area, obviously by intercepting the ball, that's the best play. Got away with one there.
Gee, they've missed some, haven't they? They are pressing hard, though.
And looking good. They're spreading beautifully around the middle. Now, free kick is going to the Cats. We saw John Worsfold's reaction to Nikoski's miss moments ago. He's won 3 out of 6 against Geelong here in Perth, but 4 out of 13 overall. Last time,
I'm not sure about that one.
Take that one back. Here's Taylor. Last time they beat the Cats was round 10 of 06. Strange to related Skills Stadium. There goes the kick down towards half forward. The mark is taken by Glass. Hit the ground running. Comes away through midfield. The hand pass not so flash. Lacroix has to go back and find it. Did brilliantly and spots a man. Out wide. Prittis. 65 metres out. Slipped over Prittis. Taylor, Enright, Christensen. Christensen sends it up towards the wing. 3-on-1 out there. We've seen this a bit, but the one prevails. Well done by Vardy. Jams it on the boot. It's a race back inside the 50. Getting across with pace. McGinnity beats Corey. They combine in that back pocket. McGinnity eventually gets the release. It comes across to Glass. High ball towards the wing. Ling from behind. Falls in front. Lacroix tackled. Down he goes. Ling battles with him. And the umpire calls for it.
Terrific play by McGinnity there. He covered some serious ground to intercept the ball and then had the poise in the back pocket. This was Prittis slipping moments before to repel the ball for the West Coast Eagles.
So Varco, Prittis just holds him up. Ebert back turns and then has to release. Silly to say, I feel like Geelong's just hanging on a bit, don't you?
They are. No, they're just scoring from limited opportunities, which they've got the lead because of their forward 50 efficiency, but all else, other areas of the game, the Eagles are dominating.
So Nat Nui to Prittis, and then Rosa to McGinnity, and the run of Adam Selwood through the centre, and then looks up, good kick. Well done, Lonergan against Kennedy, and then Ling trying to chop it off. Kennedy, and now boundary throwing.
You mentioned the efficiency in Geelong's forward line, Lee. They've only had the 5 disposals inside their forward 50, and they've all been scoring shots.
Yeah, no, they've been good in there. 12 clearances to Eagles, 5 to Geelong, so that's one area of the ground the home team's dominating.
Well done by Lonergan there too, getting a fist in just in the nick of time. Ling, his 6th possession, sends it down towards half forward. Embley plays on, having taken the mark, comes across the ground. Now they can move it forward through Darling as he goes down towards half forward and Shuey. 70 metres out. They are lively, the West Coast Eagles. Confidence, a remarkable thing. Goes towards the pocket. Kennedy very conscious of Lonergan. Lurking behind Nikoski. Talk about make amends. How's that? Missed the centre moments ago. And like Nat Nui before him gets the hard one.
Yeah, sometimes you don't want to think when Nikoski had the chance to run into that open goal. From about 25 metres out, he had to think a little bit and he got a bit tight, missed the goal. That one was the instinctive, put it on the boot, and just the ability to kick that banana kick on the outside of the foot. Just the modern player just does that so well.
Been really impressed with the work rate of Jack Darling at the moment, providing a contest up the ground and pushing back into the 50, but have a look at this goal. Just at strength also of Nikoski there to shove the tackle from Taylor Hunt and then put the ball across banana style. That gets the crowd going here, no doubt about that.
Cats led by as much as 16 points after Pod's second goal. Eagles have stormed back.
Critters. Back on the line, Jimmy. Back on the
team
line,
that
mate.
we've
On the line.
come to love for the beautiful game, Geelong are playing an ugly type of game tonight, aren't
Yeah,
they?
well, that's
Just banging the ball.
Don't seem to be wanting to hold onto the ball and try and create. So much just about getting it out of the danger area, and it just keeps coming straight back.
So Schofield to Kerr. Kerr running the full measure and then down the line. Scarlett at the back of Darling. Getting down low. First he was Swift and then Scarlett looked like he got into the back, and there'll be a ball up.
And just to highlight the dominance of the West Coast Eagles, the statistic down there, they dominate that particular statistic at Subiaco more than anywhere else, averaging at 14 minutes in their forward half.
Naitanui brilliantly done, and then Kerr with a long, strong one that hits the post.
Gee, though, he doesn't get that many of them, Naitanui, but when he can get up and hit the ball into that clear space, the really long hit out, that's a really good one.
Great chemistry between the two of those, and we've seen it in the past couple of months, I guess, and the ability of Kerr to get on the move away from the stoppage is super exciting.
Amazing turnaround by the wooden spooners then. Overall and in this game, Bartel, Varco, Corey, Varco out of defence, feeds it forward, well over the head of Enright. They're a little bit rattled at the moment. LaCroix finds a way through, he'll kick it.
Uncharacteristic error there by Corey Enright. It was almost a case where LaCroix pulled him out of it, the old double bluff, but a few shaky errors in the back half at Geelong so far in this game. We just see it here, pop over the top, and then the broken tackle also.
They tried to bring the ball back in the centre corridor, miss the handball. That's always going to cost you. But there isn't much short in that back fifth, is there? That's the thing. Average over this first part of the quarter, the Geelong defence has been defending pretty well, but very hurriedly.
Such a great percentage player, LaCroix, isn't he? He can really take advantage of a situation. 16 of the last 20 inside 50s for the Eagles. It's domination here. And they're going to have so much momentum going into a quarter time, you would think. Ling, Christensen brought down in the tackle. Smith. And then Glass gets it from Embley and bouncing the ball out of play. What an impressive second half of an opening term this has been from the Eagles. They've been fast starters this year, but again, as they did against the Bombers last week, it was Geelong that got a very early start, only to be outplayed before quarter time.
Yeah, the good news for Geelong is they should be about 5 goals behind, and they're only 10 points behind.
Well, they're 5 scoring shots behind, aren't they?
That's it.
Naitanui done his bit with a sensational goal after a miss or two. Nikoski's goal probably the highlight of a brilliant opening term. Full house at Patterson Stadium. They're liking what they're seeing. It's the Eagles 35 to the Cats 25 on Friday Night Footy.